Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jikook Magic. Have you ever witnessed a story told not through words, but through glances and synchronized steps? Today, we may have just cracked that code. Jimin and Jungkook were spotted at the airport in Vietnam, preparing to return to Korea after a cross-continental journey from New York to Switzerland. At a glance, it seems like nothing more than two global idols on a routine trip. But believe me, what's hidden beneath their suitcases and casual hoodies goes far deeper than just a tour itinerary. Stay tuned, because we're about to uncover every trace of intimacy that almost escaped the public eye, and perhaps, discover a new chapter they've carefully kept to themselves. Recently, Jimin and Jungkook were seen at the Vietnam airport, ready to head back to Korea. To some, it may have looked like a regular moment, two idols wrapping up a long journey. But for those who have followed this story step by step, their presence at the airport wasn't just a conclusion. It marked the closing of one chapter and the quiet opening of something far more profound. Their journey began in New York, continued through the snow-covered serenity of Switzerland, and concluded in the warmth of Vietnam. 3 countries, 3 atmospheres, one shared experience that spanned not just geography, but emotion. This wasn't just about 2 people changing locations. It was about 2 souls growing closer, learning to understand one another on a deeper level. Fan-taken photos captured fleeting yet meaningful moments. Jimin and Jungkook walking side by side in casual clothes, their expressions calm, undisturbed by the crowd. There was no effort to hide, no sense of pretense. Just presence, honest and unfiltered, as if they were saying, "We're here, just as we are." There was something different in how they appeared. Not just a togetherness born from obligation, but from choice. A choice to remain by each other's side, even with the world watching. And in the quiet of their steps, in the wordless looks they exchanged, it became clear that this bond wasn't built overnight. It grew slowly, patiently, through time, trust, and affection. For over a decade, they've shared stages, projects, and dreams. But what we see now goes beyond the professional. This is about a closeness that can't be scripted or managed. This is about 2 hearts walking in tandem, not for show, but for each other. In every country they visited, they left behind traces, not just in fans' eyes, but in small, private spaces only they understand. In those moments, they laughed. They sat beneath foreign skies, enjoying life's simplest pleasures. They stayed silent, but never empty, because even in silence, they seem to be speaking. To many, what they share might still be labeled as deep friendship. But for those looking closer, it's not hard to see that it's something more. Not because of rumors or wishful thinking, but because of consistency. Because of a truth that continues to emerge, frame by frame, even in the most unintentional captures. Jimin and Jungkook have never made any official statements about their relationship. And perhaps that's what makes it so powerful. Because they're not trying to prove anything. They're simply being themselves, and in doing so, they're telling a story more honest than any press release could convey. Their return to Korea is not a final period. On the contrary, it feels like a pause before a new page turns. There's a chance they're preparing something together. Maybe a continuation of "Are You Sure?" or maybe something entirely new. But even without that certainty, one thing is clear. Their relationship has entered a more open, more courageous, more real phase. What makes this story so captivating isn't just the intimacy we see, but the sincerity we feel. They've never used this connection as a promotional tool. There's no drama, no illusion, just 2 people who've chosen to stay close, through quiet moments, through the noise, through exhaustion, and through joy. When one looks tired, the other glances over. When one is nervous, the other offers calm. They're like 2 sides of the same breath. And their constant appearances, behind the stage, in airport lounges, amid hectic schedules, aren't coincidences. They're a pattern, a language they've crafted on their own. Many may still deny it, or choose not to believe. Especially those who have long supported other narratives. One sometimes steeped in manipulation or delusion. But facts can't be ignored forever. Their closeness is not a script. It's a reality, one that continues to reveal itself, slowly but surely. We may never know every detail of their journey, But what matters isn't what they do, it's how they do it. Together. Always together. The story of Jimin and Jungkook isn't told through loud announcements or billboard posters. It's a story whispered in small movements, a brief smile, a backstage hug, a gaze held without hesitation. It's a story that doesn't beg for recognition. It only asks to be seen, with the heart. And today, as they return home, we're not just welcoming them back. We're welcoming a story that continues to unfold. With slow, steady steps. With the courage to be genuine. With trust that grows not from pressure, but from choice. Because real love doesn't always need to be explained. It only needs to be lived. Amid the dazzling, performative world of entertainment, a bond like this feels like a breath of fresh air. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. We don't see them as distant stars in the sky, but as two people who've chosen to walk together, even when the road isn't easy. We see how Jungkook glances at Jimin with a subtle, unspoken care. How Jimin adjusts his pace without being asked. That's not just habit. It's companionship built on time, scars, laughter, and thousands of private conversations the world will never hear. Maybe there's still a lot we don't know. But what they've already shown is enough to earn our trust. That whatever this relationship is, it's born from deep mutual respect. And maybe, right now, they don't need a label. Because love, in the end, doesn't need a name to be recognized. It only needs to be felt, even from a distance. And that's just a glimpse of the moment revealed behind the silence of the airport, a sweet pause before the next chapter begins. So, what do you think Jikook's next adventure will be? Drop your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a heartbeat from their journey. See you in the next video, only on Jikook Magic, where every glance tells a story,